The first thing I do after crossing into the beast-taming world is let an alien facehugger parasitize me to create a brand new, far more powerful species. Because in this world where everyone tames beasts, I alone know what makes the alien truly terrifying. Not only does it breed and grow at a frightening rate, but it can also assimilate the genes of other tamed beasts, awakening even more powerful forms. But right now, in the school office, Mr. Terry stares at me with total confusion. Kid, have you been brainwashed by clickbait content online? Sure, insects can carry far more than their own body weight, but once they grow past a critical size, they collapse under their own mass. Are you seriously choosing a facehugger? I believe the facehugger is the perfect beast for me. Seeing I won't budge, Mr. Terry sighs and slides a few cards across the desk. These are your starter resources. Take them. In 1 week, the school will hold a placement exam for all new students. If you change your mind before then, there's still time. I give a slight nod and take the cards from Mr. Terry. I thank him and walk out the door. Half an hour later, I'm back in my assigned dorm room. Time to start raising my beast. I pull out the domain card Mr. Terry gave me. A faint shimmer of light swallows me whole, and I find myself standing on a vast open grassland, a raw, untouched primitive space not yet shaped into a proper domain. Then a system prompt chimes. Host, do you wish to modify the environment of this primitive space since different beasts require different habitats? Every new student gets one chance to reshape their domain upon first entry. No, I decline without hesitation. After all, aliens can survive in virtually any environment, no matter how harsh. Beginning extraction of host beast data, shall cultivation begin? System, I say, can I use my own body as a template to produce food? Sure, I could let the facehugger parasitize cattle or sheep, but the facehugger's greatest strength lies in gene assimilation. Human DNA is undeniably the most perfect template, and no one in this world has ever tried this before. My request leaves the system completely speechless. It takes a full 2.5 minutes before it responds. Beginning analysis of host's body to produce beast food. A flash of light and a perfect replica of my own body drops from the air. Beginning analysis of host memories. Shall a facehugger be hatched as your tamed beast? Yes. I nod without a moment's hesitation. As the system completes its analysis, a creature that has no business existing in this world materializes before me. The facehugger stirs awake, but instead of lunging at the replica, it curls up on the grass as if waiting for my command. So, I issue my very first parasitize order. In an instant, the facehugger launches itself at the replica at full speed. The reason I love the facehugger so much is its incubation method. Hatching is rapid, and once an alien reaches adulthood, it lays eggs on its own, hatching more and more facehuggers. An endless, self-sustaining cycle. I glance around at the lush green grasslands stretching in every direction. Before long, this place will be home to an entire alien army. Then, the alien tears its way out of the replica. The sharp scent of blood fills the air. I crouch down to study the newborn alien. Unlike the facehugger, which only parasitizes, the chest-burster alien has double upgraded defense and combat power. Feed it enough, and within just a few hours it matures into an adult. Let's start feeding. I use my resource card to summon a herd of massive wild buffalo. With one glance from me, the chest-burster can no longer hold back. It tears toward the herd at a full sprint. At first, the buffalo barely register the tiny chest-burster. Then it leaps onto one of their backs and secretes acid from its mouth, dissolving the buffalo's neck clean through. The entire herd finally realizes the danger and bolts in a panic. But there's no outrunning an alien. As it keeps feeding, its body grows at a visible, almost unreal pace. In less than an hour, it shoots up to nearly 6 feet tall. Since it's the only alien in this beast space, the male genetic markers in its body gradually fade away. The chest-burster begins to transform as it feeds. Wait, an alien queen? Even I'm caught off guard by this. I thought I'd have to keep spawning facehuggers one by one to build my army. I never expected aliens could switch genders on their own. I reach out and cautiously stroke the alien queen's head. The texture is smoother than I imagined, almost like the leg of someone in leather pants. Huh? Why does my alien queen somehow look kind of pretty? Just as I'm savoring the moment, my stomach lets out a long, rumbling growl. I exit the beast space. Time to get some food in me. Half an hour later, I'm at the school cafeteria. Just as I'm about to step inside, a deep voice comes from behind. You're Mark. And you are? I'm Felix, a new first year ranked 11th in my intake. You're ranked 7th in the whole city if I recall. Since we've run into each other, why don't we settle who's stronger? I never expected to get called out on the very first day of school. But this kind of challenge, I have no reason to turn it down. The alien's greatest advantage is assimilating other creatures' genes through parasitism. If Felix is this confident, his beast must be seriously strong. And honestly, I want to see just how powerful my alien queen really is in this world. So, I pull out my beast space card without hesitation, and Felix and I enter a link domain together. In an instant, the space around us shifts into an open countryside. Then, a roar tears through the entire space. A massive brown and gold triceratops comes charging straight at us. Felix crosses his arms and smirks. So, what's your beast? I don't answer. Instead, I check my beast space and the alien queen is gone. I look more carefully and spot a deep pit in the ground that wasn't there before. It clicks instantly. Aliens operate on a hive will. Once the queen is fed enough, she reproduces through parthenogenesis. And she does it in dark, sunless caverns. I hadn't thought to build her a proper nest, so she dug one herself straight into the ground. I look at the size of that opening and get a very bad feeling. Felix, you can still back out. Now's your chance. His beast is an ancient-type triceratops, with horns and a bone shield built purely for combat. Then, the ground begins to shake violently, and a massive black shape erupts from the depths. Felix instinctively looks up, and the creature blots out the sky. His triceratops trembles uncontrollably, releasing a stream of yellow liquid. Even I jump at the sight. When I left the beast space, the alien queen was barely 6 feet tall. Now she's easily 13 to 16 feet, and her entire appearance is transformed. Before Felix can even register what's happening, the alien queen is already in front of the triceratops, driving her tail straight through its neck. I hesitate for a moment and decide not to let the alien queen go after Felix himself. After all, I have no real grudge against him. The next second, the alien queen turns and disappears back underground without a glance back. The whole thing takes less than 30 seconds. Against a creature as utterly unreasonable as an alien, even the great beasts of the ancient age stand no chance. Felix stands there completely shell-shocked. What was that thing? Mark's beast doesn't look like anything that ever existed on Verdant Star. Could it be a phantom type? The kind only one in a million Tamers ever produces? The blow hits Felix hard. He completely loses the will to fight and slumps to the ground. The link domain begins to dissolve. We're both back in the real world moments later. Wait, what just happened? Felix got destroyed. Wasn't Mark's beast supposed to be a facehugger? How did he do that? The crowd watching erupts in confused murmuring. I ignore them all. This is only the beginning. When the alien colony grows large enough, even more terrifying life forms will emerge, beings like the Queen Mother herself. But right then, Mr. Terry appears out of nowhere and pulls me aside. Mark, explain yourself. I let out a sigh and walk him through the whole story. I see, Mr. Terry says, then quickly changes the subject. Let me see your beast. He wasn't planning to reprimand me at all. He just wants to know what kind of beast could reduce Felix to that state. But at that moment, 2 people burst through the door. Felix's homeroom teacher, Mr. Gordon, and the PE teacher, Miss Penny. Terry, your student just killed Felix's beast and humiliated my student in front of everyone. Don't you think that's going too far? Faced with a furious Mr. Gordon, Mr. Terry doesn't back down an inch. First years are hot-blooded. A little sparring is perfectly normal. But Miss Penny, are you here to file a complaint as well? You've got it wrong. I'm just curious about what kind of beast Mark has raised. Miss Penny turns to me. Hi there. I'm your PE teacher for this year. Mind if I take a look at your beast? Sure, I say without hesitation. After all, in this world, the PE teacher runs the most important beast taming classes. No need to make an enemy on day 1. Hold on, Mr. Gordon's expression darkens. He brought Miss Penny here to back Felix up. Not this. Relax, Miss Penny says. If Mark's beast won through dirty means, I'll have plenty to say about it. I smirk. Wait until you see what's waiting in there. You might not keep your composure either. With that thought, I pull out my beast space card and invite all 3 teachers in. Inside, we find ourselves standing before a pitch-black underground cave. I'm about to conjure a torch when Miss Penny snaps her fingers. Thunder eels. 3 silver-white electric eels materialize from nowhere. In the next instant, they pulse with a brilliant white glow, flooding the entire cave with light. My eyes narrow. If I could get one of my facehuggers to parasitize a thunder eel, an alien that generates electricity and glows in the dark, just the thought is thrilling. Miss Penny, I ask, any chance you'd give me one? From what I know, powerful beast tamers can maintain multiple beast spaces and own countless beasts. These thunder eels might be among the least impressive beasts in Miss Penny's collection. Even if I wanted to give you one at this level, you couldn't control it yet. A beast tamer who isn't strong enough will get overpowered by their own beast. Losing control, I think to myself. Aliens operate on a strict hive hierarchy. Would that still apply now that they're tamed beasts? No. I shake my head. Nothing to worry about. If I'm not strong enough, then I'll get stronger. If the alien queen is destined to be the demon queen, then all I have to do is become the demon king. As we go deeper, Miss Penny starts to sense something is off. Mr. Terry, Mr. Gordon, don't you think this cave is a little excessive? The ceiling soars 3 stories above the floor. And ever since we entered, strange hissing sounds have been echoing from deep within. The sound is unsettling to the ears and carries a chill that cuts straight to the bone. Mr. Terry's expression shifts. Mark's beast is supposed to be a facehugger, right? It's an insect. Why would it need this much space? 10 minutes later, we finally reach the main chamber of the nest. The moment they see what's inside, all 3 teachers freeze. Mark? You call this thing a facehugger? Across the chamber, the alien queen crouches with her legs folded, her body 2 stories tall. Behind her, rows upon rows of white eggs stretch into the darkness. Felix's triceratops lies discarded to the side, a facehugger clamped firmly over its face. Mr. Terry inhales sharply. Mark, don't tell me this thing evolved from a facehugger. Not exactly evolved, I reply. This is simply what a facehugger looks like when it's fully grown. All 3 teachers' eyes go wide at the same moment. Then they look at the massive eggs covering the floor. If what Mark says is true, every single one of those eggs could grow into something like this. Not exactly. Only female facehuggers grow this large. The males are considerably smaller. Like ants, the queen is usually 3 to 4 times the size of a worker, though judging by this nest, the alien queen is reproducing through parthenogenesis. So, as long as she has enough space and resources, the colony just keeps growing forever. That's completely unreasonable, Mr. Gordon mutters. Mark, how did you create a beast like this? Is it some kind of ancient type from prehistory? In the ancient past, verdant stars' oxygen levels were so high that bizarre creatures flourished. Even a mosquito from that era would be shockingly large by today's standards. Based on that logic, Mr. Terry can't help but speculate. Maybe Mark stumbled across this alien in some ancient beast-taming tome and used it to raise this creature. No, that's not it, Miss Penny cuts in, contradicting Mr. Terry. This isn't an ancient type. Mark's beast is a phantom type. Common type and ancient type beasts are both born from verdant star's natural life system. Phantom type beasts exist entirely beyond that limitation. Hold on. What makes you so sure it's a phantom type? Mr. Gordon struggles to accept this. If it really is, then Mark is undeniably the top student of this year, and there's no way left to stand up for Felix. But Miss Penny doesn't answer. Instead, she steps forward and begins examining the alien queen's eggs. She holds a specialized card in her hand and its light pulses outward, washing over the eggs. This alien's biological structure is not carbon-based. Every known life form on Verdant Star is built on a carbon-based organic foundation. Only phantom-type beasts can break free from that constraint and use other elements as their biological base. And this alien, Miss Penny declares with absolute certainty, is a mineral-based life form. To analyze, construct, hatch, and raise a creature born purely from one's own imagination, that is something only a phantom-type beast tamer can accomplish. Mr. Gordon is completely stunned. I seize the moment and keep my tone firm. Mr. Gordon, my alien queen did kill Felix's beast, but he was the one who challenged me first. I hope you'll remind him not to act so recklessly going forward. Very well. Mr. Gordon's voice suddenly jumps several volumes. Just as I brace for him to release his own beast, Mr. Gordon steps forward and grabs my hand instead. How about transferring to Class 6? I'll make you class president, and I'll cover all your meals for the next 3 years. Wait, this isn't how the script goes. Where did all that hostility just go? Mr. Terry shoves him aside. Gordon, what do you think you're doing? Poaching my student? Just you wait. Mr. Gordon pulls out his beast space card and storms off. Damn it, that man is definitely running straight to Mr. Wayne. Mark, just focus on raising your facehuggers. I've got your back in this school. Then Mr. Terry pulls out his card and leaves as well. The sudden turn of events leaves me blinking. Who exactly is Mr. Wayne? Wayne, your year-level director, Miss Penny says with a smile. The way they rushed off, they're probably fighting over who gets to claim you. Felix shows promise, but no one's going to pick a fight over an ancient type when there's a phantom type on the table. All right, your beasts are about to hatch again. I'll leave you to it. With that, Miss Penny exits the beast space. At that moment, the Triceratops beside me crashes to the ground. Its belly begins to swell and bulge. With a sickening burst, a fully formed alien tears itself free from the Triceratops. I can still remember when the alien queen was just a chest-burster barely 3 feet tall. This new alien has a far more massive exoskeleton, and jutting from its skull is the bone crest of the Triceratops. I'll call you the alien Triceratops. I reach out and pat its head. The placement exam is yours. The alien queen is far more terrifying in raw power, and unleashing her would shock every soul in Jing Elite Academy. But she has already developed her brood gland for reproduction. Though in extreme emergencies, she can detach the brood gland and fight for the colony. The process causes her tremendous pain. A placement exam isn't worth putting my alien queen through that kind of suffering just to show off. For the next several days, I spend nearly all my time inside the beast space, using resource cards to generate replica food in bulk, letting the facehuggers the alien queen has laid begin parasitizing. Before long, over 30 aliens have been born inside the beast space. The alien Triceratops reaches adulthood quickly too, second only to the alien queen in raw power among my growing army. Then, without warning, the beast space triggers an alert. Insufficient space and food supply. Please recharge immediately. I pull out my resource card with a grimace. All I've done these past few days is pour money into this thing, and now I'm completely broke. But if I don't solve the space and food problem, the colony ceiling stays at the alien queen. I'll have to go find Mr. Terry. Just as I'm about to exit, a voice crackles from my beast space card. All new students of Jing Elite Academy, please report to the school field for the placement exam. The placement exam? I almost forgot. I pull myself together and hurry to the field where the entire school has already gathered. I find Mr. Terry and tell him I've run out of funds. He's genuinely shocked. The starter resource cards are supposed to last an entire semester. Wait, how many aliens do you have right now? Mr. Terry quickly zeroes in on what matters. Even with the alien queen's appetite, there's no way she could drain the cards that fast alone. Unless those eggs have already hatched into facehuggers, and the facehuggers have already grown into full aliens. 1 alien queen, 1 alien Triceratops, and 37 male aliens, I'd say. Mr. Terry actually trembles. That's insane. You're supposed to be taming beasts, not running a livestock farm. Mark, just perform normally today. I'll take care of the resource cards. I nod with a smile. Then, I notice a boy staring at me with cold, calculating eyes. That's Shane from Class 3, ranked 2nd in the city entrance exams. Genius-level talent, Mr. Terry explains. He's your main competition today, though his beast is nowhere near yours. Before Mr. Terry can finish, the placement exam is officially announced. Each student must connect their beast space card to the testing machine, then command their beast to intercept and destroy a target drone racing toward the finish line. Simple rules, but they test the beast's endurance and explosive power, as well as the tamer's command over their beast. As the first class enters, the giant screen at the center of the field lights up with live footage. I pull out a small notebook, ready to jot down the names of anyone with a beast worth noting. Nice beast. Shame it's about to become a host for one of my facehuggers. But after watching for a while, not a single one catches my eye. Almost every beast released is a common type. Worse, these new students barely know how to issue commands. Their beasts either run the wrong way or just stand there doing nothing. Is the standard really this low? I can't help muttering. It's only been 7 days. What do you expect? Not everyone's a monster like you, Mr. Terry gives me a pat on the shoulder. Our class is up. Go show them what you've got. I nod and walk onto the field, beast space card in hand. A faint shimmer of light swallows me whole. When I open my eyes again, I'm standing in a pure white testing space. Mark, please select your beast for the exam. 3 options appear before me. I reach out and make my choice. The alien Triceratops materializes in the white space. Go destroy that target. The alien Triceratops lets out a roar and launches into a full sprint. With its massive frame and surprising agility, it devours the 1-kilometer track in no time. Then, it whips its tail in a wide arc, and with a thunderous crash, the target machine is cut clean in 2. The entire field goes dead silent. From beast selection to completed attack, The whole thing takes less than 3 minutes. Wait, did I just see that right? That was insanely fast. What even is that massive black thing? It definitely doesn't look like any common type beast. On the other side, Mr. Terry is waiting for me the moment I step out. Well done. In his original expectations, I was supposed to be a standout performer in this exam, but the reality has shattered everyone's worldview entirely. Among all the new first years, it's hard to imagine anyone topping this. Sure enough, when all new students have finished, the top 100 are posted. With my 3-minute run, I take first place, knocking Claire, who had dominated every previous ranking all the way down. But the placement exam is just the start. After that, a heavy load of prep classes is added to get us ready for the major academic exams ahead. One day, on my way to class, Mr. Terry comes jogging toward me in a hurry. Finally found you. What's up? Did Mr. Gordon actually pull strings to transfer me to class 6? Relax, I have zero interest in going to class 6. It's not about the transfer. Gordon doesn't have the pull to take you from me. It's the student council. Mr. Terry pulls me into a stairwell corner, glancing around like he's afraid of being seen. If they try to get you to sign anything, tell them you need more time to think. A contract? The student council can actually do that? I raise an eyebrow. Clearly, the student council in this world operates very differently from what I'd imagined. What kind of contract, roughly? I can't say for certain yet, it's just a guess. They might have something else in mind entirely. Either way, don't sign anything on paper. With that, he sends me off to class and disappears. The student council clearly carries real weight. Even a teacher like Mr. Terry is wary of them. Whatever comes, I'll handle it. With that thought, I steady myself and head to class. But the moment I sit down, a loud voice booms from the doorway. Is Mark here? What do you want? Hi there, I'm Ben from Year 2, Class 3, Student Council Organizing Department. Our department head wants to see you. Ben glances at the class schedule on the board. Missing a few general ed classes won't matter. We'll notify the teacher. Something shifts in my expression. Notify. That's the language of someone giving orders, not making a request. Still, I decide to go and see what this is actually about. Ben leads me to the school field where a group of people are waiting. Your Mark, the one seated in a chair, speaks first. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Flynn, head of the Student Council's organizing department. Clearing the placement exam in 3 minutes. Quite an impressive result. How about it? Interested in joining us? Seeing I don't respond, Flynn continues. Beast taming isn't just about talent. Resources matter just as much. To make sure talented students don't fade out due to financial limits, the Student Council offers resource support. Mark's parents are both ordinary workers, if I'm not mistaken. My eyebrow twitches involuntarily. They've already dug into my family background in less than a day. This Student Council is more capable than I expected. So, what's the price? Price is a bit dramatic. Flynn smiles and produces a stack of documents. If Mark is willing to accept our support, just sign this contract. Let me take a look first. I grab the documents and start reading. There are no obvious unreasonable clauses. In fact, the terms look almost too generous. Financial support, a mapped-out development plan for all 3 years of high school, and even dedicated senior mentors for beast taming competitions. Could the Student Council actually be the good guys? Then, just as I'm thinking this, the final clause catches my eye. The student's first choice university application shall be handled by the Student Council. As far as I know, students can submit up to 3 application choices. So, even if the first goes wrong, as long as the second and third are fine, you can still get into a good school unless there's something about how applications work in this world that I don't know yet. Remembering Mr. Terry's warning, I refuse on the spot and toss the contract back. But as I turn to leave, Ben and another student step in to block my way. What's this? Trying to force my hand? Don't get the wrong idea, Mark. We're not that petty. If you think the contract is unfair, feel free to raise it through proper channels. It's just that Morgan here watched your placement exam livestream and has been dying to challenge the so-called genius beast Tamer. I hold back a sigh. This is their show of dominance. Classic high school level stuff. But if they're using him as their muscle, his beast must be formidable. A perfect target for gene assimilation. I reach for my beast space card, ready to enter a duel. But Morgan shakes his head. No need for all that, let's go right here. Wait, beasts can actually duel in the real world? Then come on out, alien triceratops. In an instant, a massive form materializes on the field. So, this is the genius, Morgan says, eyes narrowing as he studies the alien triceratops. But his own beast is nothing to dismiss either. A flash of light, and Morgan's beast appears. Flynn and the others allow themselves small smiles. Morgan's beast is only a common type. But with the student council's backing, it has already undergone full mutation, and Mark's beast is newly born with virtually no real combat experience. In their eyes, the scales of this fight have already tipped in Morgan's favor. Destroy it, Iron Wolf. At Morgan's command, the werewolf raises its great blade and brings it crashing down on the alien triceratops. Every onlooker expects the blow to take its head clean off, but the alien triceratops steps into the strike. With a resounding clang, it blocks the attack head-on. Surprise flickers in Morgan's eyes. That blade is forged from black steel alloy, capable of slicing through iron like paper, and Iron Wolf's arm strength alone is absurd. Each swing carries several tons of explosive force. But Morgan quickly shakes off his surprise. Iron Wolf's strength isn't even its real weapon. Speed is. Even with high defense, you might block one slash, but how many can you take? Strike the same spot over and over, and sooner or later, the defense will crack. Reading Morgan's strategy, Iron Wolf shifts into a dancing footwork pattern, weaving and slashing around the alien triceratops in a relentless blur. After countless strikes, the blade finally bites into the alien triceratops's bone plate. Green blood sprays out, but in the very next instant, Iron Wolf covers its eyes and staggers backward. The blade snaps clean in two. What? Morgan is stunned. His beast landed the hit. So, why is this happening? Look at Iron Wolf's blade. Everyone follows Ben's shout and looks. The blade is riddled with holes of every size. Is that the alien's blood? Look closely, and it's clear. The liquid clinging to the blade is identical to what sprayed from the bone plate and is powerfully corrosive. The holes spread and deepen until the liquid drips to the ground and Iron Wolf's weapon dissolves into several pieces. And right at that moment, the alien triceratops whips its tail with full force, driving it like a hammer straight into Iron Wolf's neck. With a heavy thud, Iron Wolf crashes to the ground. I'll be taking your beast's genes, thank you. I release a freshly hatched facehugger from my beast's space. But just as the facehugger closes in on Iron Wolf's face, a thrown blade comes out of nowhere and pierces it clean through. I spin around, and there's another Iron Wolf standing right beside Morgan. Ha! I never said I'd only use one beast against you, Mark. The stronger a beast tamer, the more beasts they can control at once. Or is this the only beast Mark has managed to raise? What a shame. As he speaks, Morgan keeps releasing more beasts. In just a breath or two, 4 Iron Wolves have assembled around him. Flynn smirks, expecting me to be rattled or to cry foul about being outnumbered. But a devil's grin spreads across my face. Morgan, you said it yourself. Mutated beasts like Iron Wolf. It takes at least half a year, maybe a full year to raise one. But with a facehugger, I can just reap the rewards without the grind. The thought alone is enough to make me struggle to keep the grin off my face. Don't say I didn't warn you. Blinding light erupts in every direction. The sight that greets Morgan leaves him completely frozen. Everywhere he looks, a swarm of aliens has completely surrounded his Iron Wolves. These aliens aren't as large as the alien triceratops. They're even a bit shorter than the Iron Wolves, but they outnumber them more than tenfold. This can't be real. I have to be dreaming. Through his daze, Morgan also spots the wave of facehuggers I've released. All of them are locked onto his Iron Wolves with hungry, predatory eyes. The rest of the aliens surge forward all at once. In just a few seconds, every single Iron Wolf is pinned to the ground. No, stop. Watching the facehuggers crawl up onto his Iron Wolves' faces, Morgan finally breaks. Mark, please don't do this to my beasts. My entire career will be over. And if your beast had the upper hand, would you have spared mine? My voice drops, cold and flat. I order the full parasitization of all 5 Iron Wolves. Beside them, Flynn and the others are completely frozen, unable to move or speak. I let out a cold laugh, recall my aliens and the 5 Iron Wolves, and walk away. Back in class, I've barely sat down when Claire, sitting right beside me, says, Well handled. But picking a fight with the student council this early in the school year isn't exactly a smart move. You think they can actually suppress me? The student council has more tricks than that. For years, they've had a firm grip on the university applications at Ying Elite Academy. She seems to know more than the average person. I lean in. Actually, when they came for me, there was a clause in the contract about the first-choice university application. Is there something behind that? Have you heard of the Elite 10? The 10 most powerful universities in the country. They don't just have resources. More importantly, only graduates of the Elite 10 are eligible to enter the taming realm, and the Elite 10 only accept first-choice applications. That's the trap buried in the student council's contract. Sign it without thinking, and whether or not you ever get into the Elite 10 is entirely in the student council's hands. I feel my expression go flat. No wonder Mr. Terry went out of his way to warn me. But wait, the Elite 10 matter enormously in this world. If students get in, the school benefits, too. So, why would the school let the student council run wild like this? That brings us to one person, Claire says. Rex Sullivan. His beast taming career is honestly absurd. He started taming in middle school and held first place throughout all of high school. Before him, the student council here was fairly normal. Then Rex became president and overhauled everything, consolidating all the resources under one roof. At the time, no one wanted to challenge Rex's reputation, so even when things got questionable, the school gave the green light. The student council ended up with enormous influence. After the reforms, Rex kept helping students grow stronger. I frown. The way you describe him, Rex actually sounds like a decent person. Calling him decent is naive. Even after getting into the Elite 10, Rex never let go of his control over the student council. Remember what I just told you? The application contracts drew complaints from parents. Rex personally showed up and silenced every single one of them. Rex has that kind of power. And he's still a student? Or has he already graduated? Third year of university. And yes, his reach is massive. He's the only top-ranked graduate to come out of Ying in 20 years. Word is, he's built his own network inside the Elite 10. The principal here isn't going to cross Rex Sullivan over ordinary students. It finally clicks. I get it now. If Rex has that much influence, then loyalty to the student council is loyalty to Rex. And since spots in the Elite 10 are limited, how does Rex make sure everyone who gets in from Ying stays loyal to him? Simple. By controlling the applications. Every student who makes it into the Elite 10 does so on his terms and owes him for it. You're not as oblivious as you look, Claire says, visibly surprised. What I've reasoned out almost perfectly matches what she's uncovered through her own investigation. Every student who enters the Elite 10 ends up at Rex Sullivan's specific university. I smile. You're telling me all this. Don't tell me you're trying to recruit me to take down the student council? No, Claire says. I want to destroy Rex Sullivan. Utterly destroyed, reputation in ruins. As she says it, her eyes go faintly red. What did Rex do to her? I do the math. There's a 5 or 6 year gap between them. When Rex was still at this school, Claire hadn't even started middle school. What kind of grievance could they possibly have? But Claire doesn't answer. She simply stands, turns, and walks away. Meanwhile, in Mr. Terry's office, Mr. Gordon bursts through the door. Your student, Mark, has seriously messed up. He shoves his phone across the desk. Mr. Terry's brow furrows. Then he sees what's on the screen and draws a sharp breath. You see that? Mark just went after a student council member directly. They won't let this go. If you're too scared to go against the student council, transfer Mark to my class. I'll take them head on if I have to. Mr. Terry gives him a cold look. You really think you can? Rex Sullivan once drove a female student to her death over an application dispute. Parents rallied, and the principal was ready to shut the student council down entirely. And then Rex came back from Empyrean personally, and the whole thing just disappeared. What exactly gives you the standing to take them on? So you're saying we just abandon Mark? Mr. Terry sighs. Of course not. Honestly, he has no desire to cross Rex Sullivan. But watching that footage, his blood is pumping. 8 days in, and Mark has already raised dozens of aliens. In all his years of teaching, he's never seen talent like this. And if anyone has what it takes to dismantle Rex Sullivan's grip on the student council, that person is undoubtedly Mark. Meanwhile, Miss Penny calls me and Claire out of class. You really can't stay out of trouble, can you? Day 1, Felix. Now the student council. That's not on me. Both times they came looking for trouble. Is that so? Miss Penny's lips curl upward. You're the one who walked away with the most gain. Those facehuggers have already parasitized Morgan's beasts, haven't they? Assimilate the genes of a mutated beast, and who knows what special abilities might awaken. Anyway, the reason I called you both out, it's about the freshman invitational. Every top school in Heejing will gather to exchange and compete in beast taming. We have 4 spots. I've selected you and Claire, along with Shane from Class 3 and Felix from Class 6. Claire can't hold back. Surely there are stronger new students than Felix. Miss Penny nods. In terms of pure beast taming, Felix isn't the strongest, but his family has money. Felix's father said if Felix gets a spot in the invitational, he'll sponsor the school. So, Felix may be the weakest link. The 3 of you cannot afford a single mistake in this invitational, or we lose the top spot. By the way, she adds, Felix's father also mentioned that if we ever need any financial support, we should just say the word. I answer without hesitation. Leave Felix to me. Time flies, and the afternoon arrives quickly. Miss Penny's PE class opens with a lecture on Tamer theory. 20 minutes later, she lets everyone enter their domain for practice. But first, she comes to my side. Count me in, Claire chimes in, pushing her way over. What's going on? Shane looks thoroughly confused. Nothing serious. My beast might mutate, so I asked Miss Penny to stand by just in case. Then take me along too. Sure. I give a nod. I pull out my domain card and invite the group into my domain. A flash of light, and we find ourselves inside an underground cavern. Mark, what did you mean by stand by? The chill pouring out from the depths hits them immediately. A bad feeling wells up inside Shane. Exactly what it sounds like. Mark's progress as a tamer is frankly outrageous. Mutation normally doesn't come until 2nd year, but the alien can assimilate a host's genes. That might trigger early mutation. Miss Penny pauses. At the end of the day, a beast is still a beast. It sees its tamer as one of its own and submits accordingly. But the moment it decides you're not strong enough, it starts acting up and ignoring your commands. In the worst case, it may even turn on its tamer. She looks right at me. Let me be upfront. Even though the rookie tournament matters, if your alien shows aggression toward us, I will put it down right here. I nod. Even though I believe the alien will produce something extraordinary after taking the werewolf host, if things go the way Miss Penny describes, dealing with it early is the smarter call. Mark, can you tell whether the alien has finished bonding with the host? Not yet. I shake my head. Miss Penny gives a short nod, then releases her own beast to be safe. Inferno. With a low rumble, a massive flame erupts ahead. Moments later, a towering giant of fire stands before us. That's a beast? I blink. From what I know, beasts are supposed to be living creatures. This thing doesn't exactly fit the definition. Who says a beast has to be a living organism? Miss Penny smiles with clear satisfaction. That's simply because students like you haven't built up enough physical and mental strength yet. So, you train with the most basic beasts to build up your abilities. You don't truly begin until university. Interesting. I find myself genuinely curious what would happen if a facehugger bonded with Inferno. Before long, we reach the deepest part of the cavern. The alien queen is coiled as always, legs tucked beneath her. Eggs keep dropping from her ovipositor at a steady rhythm. If every last one of those eggs hatches, the number of aliens would easily break into the hundreds. So, this is the gap between a genius and the rest of us. Shane stares, eyes going red. At this rate, Mark might get a direct offer from the Elite 10 without even sitting the exam. Miss Penny spots the real problem at once. Your aliens are breeding faster than you can handle. The rising numbers are actually making the space feel cramped. Yeah, I nod. From facehugger bonding to a fully grown adult alien takes only 48 hours, and the alien queen lays a full clutch every 2 to 3 hours. At first, I was thrilled. I thought that if the alien colony kept growing, I'd become the strongest tamer around. But once I actually started raising them, I realized everything food, space costs money. This cavern is already the expanded version, and it's still not big enough. Some aliens have even gone into hibernation from lack of food. That's a tough spot to be in. Miss Penny gives my shoulder a pat, sensing the weight I'm carrying. If Mark had a family like Felix's behind him, he'd be absolutely unstoppable. Just then, the werewolf host bonded to the facehugger begins to tremble. The alien queen seems to sense it, too. She slows her laying and fixes all her attention on the werewolf. The alien triceratops and a cluster of male aliens stand ready, every muscle coiled for action. Is the alien queen anxious? I raise an eyebrow. Surely, Miss Penny's warning isn't about to come true. Miss Penny issues a quiet command to Inferno. Whatever bursts out of that werewolf, if it attacks us, take it down immediately. Fortunately, the wait doesn't last long. One of the werewolves is suddenly split open from within, and a humanoid figure tears its way out. It sweeps its gaze across everyone. No open hostility, yet something about it sends a chill through the air. Mark, can you give it a command? Miss Penny goes completely rigid. She never imagined she'd feel this much pressure inside a first-year student's domain. Sit. I try a cautious command. It doesn't move. Even the alien queen senses something is wrong. Her mood turns sharp and agitated as she screeches at the newborn in the alien's own tongue. The newborn doesn't flinch. The alien queen runs out of patience. She immediately issues an order to the male aliens. 2 aliens bolt forward in an instant, intent on forcing it into submission. But the moment they get close, 3 blade-like spines shoot from its knuckles and sweep across both charging aliens. A flash of cold light, and both aliens are cut clean in half at the waist. Even I didn't see that coming. The exoskeleton of an alien is harder than steel alloy, and it was bisected in a single slash. Just how sharp are the wolf aliens' black blades? Stop. Seeing the other male aliens about to charge, I bark the order and drive them back. My wolf alien isn't necessarily rebellious. It just tore itself into the world moments ago. It's still confused and disoriented. It simply sensed hostility from those 2 aliens and struck back out of instinct. Miss Penny, Claire turns to her instinctively. What do we do about Mark's beast? In her eyes, it's already beyond my control. Left unchecked, even I could be in danger. We'll have to put it down here. A flicker of killing intent crosses Miss Penny's eyes. She issues the order to Inferno without hesitation. Wait, Miss Penny. I wave her off quickly, but Inferno is already moving. Fist drawn back, it charges straight at the wolf alien. Just as Inferno's fist is about to connect, the wolf alien vanishes. A massive impact shakes the entire cavern. Claire draws a sharp breath, stunned by Inferno's raw power on one hand, and completely baffled on the other. Where did Mark's wolf alien go? At the same moment, the domain notification chimes in my ear. Congratulations, Tamer. Your beast has undergone mutation and gained the innate skill, Shadow Step. I pause for a moment. Mutation comes with a skill? That must be how the wolf alien slipped out of Inferno's attack. Shadow Step. Then, the wolf alien reappears out of nowhere, black blade raised, and brings it down hard on Inferno's shoulder. A shockwave blasts outward, and Inferno's arm is severed clean from its body. Whoa! Shane's mouth drops into a perfect O. He never imagined my wolf alien could overpower Miss Penny's Inferno, a PE teacher with nearly 10 years of Tamer experience. Miss Penny, call Inferno off. Miss Penny blinks. What did you say? Losing an arm isn't a fatal wound for Inferno. And sure enough, Inferno pivots, a surge of flame rolling down toward the ground, curling around the severed arm and reattaching it. Mark, I understand you don't want to give it up, but a beast that won't obey is a serious liability. Worse still, there are 4 more like it yet to hatch. If we don't handle this now, everything you've worked for could fall apart. No, Miss Penny, I know exactly what I'm doing. You said it yourself. As long as a tamer is strong enough, the beast won't resist their commands, right? Our eyes lock. Miss Penny sees something in my gaze she hasn't seen before. Total resolve. This isn't a bluff. All right. She finally relents, ordering Inferno to stand down and step back. I walk toward the wolf alien, 1 step at a time. Had enough? The wolf alien doesn't respond. It just watches me as if deciding whether I'll flinch. Suddenly, it steps forward. A test. If I back down, it will press its advantage. Not running. Actually moving closer. Then, let's get even closer. My voice is cold. I step forward. Aliens are hive creatures. Hierarchy is absolute. Dominance and submission are coded into their very genes. Wolves are hierarchical, too, but a strong wolf can challenge the alpha. I think that wolf instinct is what's throwing off the wolf alien's calculus. Watching me close the distance deliberately, the wolf alien hesitates, visibly confused. Put the blade away, and to everyone's shock, it actually does. Then, it slowly bends its knees and kneels before me. It's submitted. Shane rubs his eyes in disbelief. He was sure the wolf alien would attack me. Instead, I suppressed it with sheer presence alone. Miss Penny finally exhales, unbelievable. With a beast at this level, you could sit the college exam right now. Even if the Elite 10 is a stretch, a regular university would be a walk in the park. Good. I look at the fully submissive wolf alien and give a quiet nod of satisfaction. But at that very moment, 4 more aliens burst from the remaining werewolf hosts. Everyone who had just barely unwound snaps back to high alert. But these 4 don't share the first one's defiance. The moment they emerge, they drop to one knee. Congratulations, host. Your beast has gained a new skill, merge. Merge? I raise an eyebrow and murmur the word. The next second, all 4 aliens are yanked upward by an unseen force, hurtling straight toward the first wolf alien. What's happening now? A mutation skill. Miss Penny sucks in a sharp breath. She recognizes what she's seeing, a skill born from the mutation. But is this even possible? Normal mutation only alters a beast's form. Skills emerging from mutation are extremely rare. Meanwhile, the 4 aliens flow like liquid as they close in and pour themselves into the body of the first wolf alien. I blink. 5 aliens become 1. Isn't that a loss? I hesitate for a moment, then try murmuring a word. Split. The moment it leaves my lips, the wolf alien in front of me shudders violently, and the original 4 aliens split back out. That's mirror image. The thought hits me. The Blade Master from Warcraft 3. Shadow step maps to Windwalk. Merge and split map to mirror image. Would the wolf alien eventually unlock Bladestorm, too, once it grows strong enough? The thought prompts me to turn to Miss Penny. Does every beast gain a skill when it mutates? No, only a very small number do. That said, skills can be developed over time through effort from both the tamer and the beast. I nod, though I'm still not quite clear on one thing. Why would my beast develop skills that mirror the Warcraft Blademaster? Could it be that? Miss Penny, is it possible that a beast's skills are tied to the tamer's own knowledge and mindset? That's entirely possible, Miss Penny nods. Tamer researchers have raised this theory before. Mutation skills may be a reflection of the tamer's mind or a physical manifestation of their mental energy. But that raises a question. If that's what grants a beast its skill, why can only a tiny fraction of tamers produce beasts with innate skills? Plenty of people have tried to answer it, but the question keeps leading into dead ends. No one has come up with a theory convincing enough to stick over time. The key to innate skills simply remained a mystery. That said, Miss Penny draws a slow breath. Even without scientific backing, I personally believe it. My own beast developed an innate skill once, and it was a power I dreamed of having as a child. What was it? Claire and Shane ask in perfect unison. Miss Penny flicks both of them on the forehead. Mind your own business. I stand in place, lost in thought. In other words, my aliens can pull skills straight from the depths of my memory and make them real. That's why they manifested Windwalk and Mirror Image. And because this world has no game like Warcraft, the domain system didn't recognize the proper name for Windwalk, so it called it Shadow Step instead. The Blademaster was always my favorite hero back when I played Warcraft. That thought makes me glance back at the alien queen. If the Blademaster's full kit can exist in this world, then the kaleidoscope Sharingan, wood style, sage art, myriad forms, possibilities flood my mind, and I can't help but feel a wave of awe. Everything I know from my old world would be fighting at a completely different level here. Miss Penny, if I want the alien queen to mutate, what do I need to do? Once you have enough credits, you can initiate a mutation selection. If you perform well in the freshman invitational, the school will reward you with credits. On top of that, credits can also be used to craft custom gear for your beasts or exchange for various resources and funds. I nod slowly, turning that over in my mind. Now that I know how to trigger mutation, the next step is clear. Earn credits. With that settled, I take out my domain card and bring everyone back to the real world. world. Meanwhile, in the student council room, Flynn walks in nervously. Wesley, how many times do I have to say it? Use titles at school. The one Flynn called Wesley is none other than the current vice president of the student council and the fourth-ranked Tamer at Hing Elite Academy. Over the next few days, the student council keeps its distance and life on campus returns to its quiet rhythm. With steady feeding, the wolf alien grows into its adult form. Standing still, it radiates an overwhelming sense of pressure. I go into the freshman invitational with full confidence. A week later, Miss Penny leads our group to the tournament venue. Inside the Tamer Arena, 4 schools have gathered. First High, Third High, and 8th High are all key schools in the city. Only Elite High is a private institution. Their principal is a man named Ethan Bear Academy, and saw real combat. After crossing into this world, I had looked up some of its history. In the 1930s, the neighboring island nation launched a Tamer war against this country, driven by greed for its Tamer resources. Though they were ultimately defeated, they took many of this nation's Tamers with them. Even now, a fierce rivalry runs between the Tamers of both nations. Hearing that Elite High's principal came from Kingly Military Academy and actually fought in that war, I immediately understand why every Elite High student has a shaved head. Man runs a high school like a military base. The host steps up to address the crowd. The tournament, he explains, consists of 2 stages. The first is the arena match, with matchups decided by draw. Each team may arrange their own fighting order. The side whose entire rookie lineup is eliminated loses. Guided by the staff, I step up as team captain for the draw. The results come quickly. First High versus Elite High. First match, First High versus Elite High. I look forward to it, Mark. Likewise, I exchange a brief greeting with Elite High's captain, Drake. We turn and walk away from the draw stage back to back. A referee steps onto the floor and signals each team to finalize their fighting order. I'll go first. Felix volunteers to lead the charge. He knows full well his beast doesn't match up to the others on the team. In that case, going first makes sense. It lets him probe Elite High's strength while wearing down their energy at the same time. Everyone nods. It's a reasonable plan, but when they turn to ask for my input, I'm already standing on the arena floor. Elite High sends their fighter up at the same time. The referee calls the match, and the arena shifts instantly. My name is Cole. I hope you'll go easy on me, Mark. Cole releases his beast as he speaks. A gray wolf. It stands nearly 2 meters tall. Alpha grade, no question, but to me it has nothing to offer. Let's make this quick. I release the wolf alien without another thought. The wolf alien flexes its wrist, and the black blades rise from its knuckles. Pressure it radiates instantly sends Cole's gray wolf into a trembling crouch, tail tucked hard between its legs. What? Mark's beast uses equipment? The host swallows hard. No, those aren't equipment. They're bones protruding from its knuckles. Is that a phantom type? Sharp-eyed viewers in the crowd notice the gray wolf has lost control of its bladder entirely. Cole goes pale. What's the point of even fighting? Mark's beast looks like a walking war machine compared to his. Wait, referee! I forfeit! I blink. Seriously? You can just forfeit in the rookie tournament? The referee moves to center floor and announces the result to the crowd. Round 1, Mark wins. The audience erupts. No clash, no fight, just a forfeit. The crowd makes their displeasure known. The host forces a stiff smile. Choosing to forfeit when the outcome is clear, that's its own kind of wisdom. Something seems to be happening on Elite High's side. The host notices Elite High students in quiet discussion with a referee. About half a minute later, the referee announces the outcome of that exchange. Elite High's remaining 2 rookies also forfeit. As the crowd sinks into disappointment, the final Elite High rookie strolls calmly onto the floor. Their captain, Drake. Impressive. I thought your whole team would fold. Turns out there's actually one of you willing to step up. Don't get the wrong idea. Honestly, I don't want my beast anywhere near that thing either. But what choice do I have? If even their captain forfeits, Elite High loses with 0 dignity. Drake scratches the back of his head and releases his beast. A massive crocodilian, rearing up on its hind legs. On Drake's command, the razor jaw charges hard at the wolf alien. Just as its massive fist is about to crash down, the wolf alien vanishes without a trace. Drake looks completely lost, scanning everywhere for the wolf alien. The audience hasn't processed it either. Only I know that was Shadow Step. A sharp whisper of movement. The wolf alien reappears and sweeps the black blade in a wide horizontal arc. That seemingly impenetrable crocodile hide crumbles under the slash. The razor jaw is sent flying. Drake flinches and rushes forward, but the wolf alien is already there. 1 step ahead, black blade pressed to the razor jaw's throat. Enough. I call out quickly to stop it. This is just a tournament. No need to take a life. Am I seeing this right? It's already over. A one-shot victory. Is this the strength of First High's number 1? The arena erupts. I concede. Drake grits his teeth. The gap between them is worlds apart. He never had a chance. As both fighters leave the floor, the host offers a few words of commentary and announces the next match. 3rd High versus 8th High. Back in the waiting room, I find Claire looking thoroughly put out. You really had to steal the whole spotlight, didn't you? Didn't even give the rest of us a chance. Miss Penny speaks with quiet weight. You are a team, a unit. Perhaps Elite High's rookies were too weak to test you. Maybe one person is enough, but this world is vast. Sooner or later you'll face someone who can match you, and when that day comes, you'll understand exactly how powerless one person feels standing alone against a team. Mark, you go last in the next match. Got it? Then I watch the match between 3rd High and 8th High unfold. 8th High may be a key school, but their overall caliber falls far short of 3rd High's. Even before their captain, Leon, takes the floor, all 4 of 8th High's rookies are eliminated. Our turn against 3rd High. Felix, you lead, then Shane, then Claire, and Mark closes it out. Miss Penny arranges the lineup weakest to strongest. This way, every rookie gets a chance to fight. Let's go. Felix clenches his fist with excitement and strides out onto the floor. 3rd High sends out Ivan as their first fighter. He was also their opener against 8th High, and he personally took down 2 of their rookies on his own. Title of strongest school in the city is about to change hands, Ivan says as he releases his beast, an iron horn rhinoceros. As long as Mark is here, 1st High cannot lose. Felix answers with his own release. With a thundering roar, a tyrant lizard bursts onto the field, his second beast, and he went with an ancient type. Take it down. On Ivan's command, the iron horn lets out a low bellow and charges. Tyrant lizard wheels around and swings its massive tail in a wide sweep. The iron horn is sent tumbling. Get up! Ivan grits his teeth. He urges the iron horn back into the fight, but the tyrant lizard is already moving, jaws stretching wide, and it clamps down hard on the iron horn's neck. Round winner, Felix of 1st High. The referee steps forward and delivers the call. Back in 1st High's waiting room, Felix actually pulled it off. Claire has never thought much of Felix as a well-connected student who got in through family ties, but she can't deny his beast is stronger than she expected. Felix may not have exceptional natural talent, but he put in the work, and with his family's backing it shows. In terms of raw strength, even measured against the entire city, 3rd High quickly sends out their second fighter, Garrett. The beast he releases looks unmistakably human. No, not human. Felix draws a sharp breath. Having studied ancient types, he spots the difference immediately. Your beast is a primal. The emergence of primals was once a milestone in the evolution of humanity, but they eventually went extinct and are not the ancestors of modern humans. Under Tamer law, they qualify as a legitimate beast. Enough talk. Let's see who's stronger, your tyrant lizard or my Primus. Garrett tightens his fist and sends Primus forward. Primus? Felix furrows his brow. Garrett actually gave his beast a name, but primals survived on this planet for over 1 million years before going extinct. Their hunting ability is nothing to dismiss. The tyrant lizard charges and swings its tail, but Primus slides in low, gets under the lizard's legs, and lands a crushing blow. A tremendous crash. The tyrant lizard's massive body loses balance instantly. Finish it. On Garrett's order, Primus seizes a heavy hammer with both hands and brings it crashing down onto the tyrant lizard's skull. A bone-shaking boom, a shockwave tears outward in every direction. The tyrant lizard collapses under the force. But what no one expects is that Primus doesn't stop after the lizard falls. It pivots sharply and locks eyes on Felix. Felix shoots a glance at Garrett. He's always known Garrett has no moral grounding. He just didn't expect him to pull something like this at the rookie tournament. Primals have limited brain capacity. Sometimes they just don't register their tamer's commands. Nothing surprising there. Garrett drops his voice deliberately, making sure only Felix hears. The next second, Primus charges straight at Felix and drives a kick into his stomach. Stop! The referee finally steps in as the situation spirals. Attacking a tamer is prohibited. Yellow card. My apologies, my beast isn't the sharpest. Sometimes it just doesn't follow instructions. Garrett shrugs. Primus steps back to his side. In 1st High's waiting room, Claire clenches her fist in fury. That was absolutely deliberate. Watch yourself out there. Mr. Penny warns Shane to stay sharp against Garrett's tactics. Then she rushes out to check on Felix's condition. The match resumes shortly after. Shane steps onto the floor and releases his beast, a student ranked in the top 3, and his beast is just a standard black panther. Bring down that panther. Garrett makes a quick gesture as he says it. Primus lunges forward, but the black panther keeps twisting and weaving, dodging Primus's hammer again and again. After several feints, it spots its opening and bites down hard on Primus's wrist. Time to counter. Shane expects Garrett to panic, but instead, Garrett smiles. Flickers of pale light flash around Garrett, and 2 more primals appear, built just like the first. Primus 2. Primus 3. The defining traits of primals, beyond tool use, are their instinct to hunt in groups. With funding from their captain Leon, Garrett had already raised his primal count to 3 within weeks of the school year starting. Working in tandem, they can take down any beast. Primus 3 draws a bow and fires in quick succession. The Black Panther senses danger and tries to dodge. Primus 1 seizes the moment and slams a fist into its skull. Primus 2 reads the timing, hurls its spear, and runs it clean through. Surprised? This is what resources look like. My grades can't match yours, but I have Leon's full backing. Step off, weakling. The referee has no love for Garrett's conduct but has no choice but to call it. Third highs, Garrett wins against 2 opponents. Shane's expression falls, and he turns back toward the waiting room in silence. I'm sorry, I wanted to do that for Felix. Don't. You did well. If Garrett hadn't had the numbers advantage, this round would have been yours. I step up and tell Miss Penny I'm taking the next fight. I've seen Claire's beast, a small gray bird. It's not built for this. I don't need you to worry about me. Claire doesn't take the offer. She walks straight out of the waiting room and onto the arena floor. Well, how about transferring to third high? I'd take very good care of you. Get lost. Claire gives Garrett a withering glare and releases her beast, a strange gray bird. Seriously, that's Claire's beast. That's it. Primus 3, finish it. Even the host's expression darkens. If Mark hadn't come out of nowhere, Claire would be First High's top-ranked student. But that beast looks dangerously weak. Mark might be carrying the whole team on his own. Meanwhile, Primus 3 looses a precise arrow. Just as Garrett expects the fight to end in an instant, the gray bird vanishes. It reappears directly behind Primus 3 and unleashes a searing blast of heat. Primus 3 lets out an agonized scream. In barely 2 breaths, it's engulfed in flames rolling desperately across the ground. The audience erupts like a pot boiling over. Claire's gray bird breathes fire? Is that a phantom type? Didn't see that coming from Claire. The host's eyes light up. Garrett may have no path to victory now. On the arena floor, the gray bird finishes scorching Primus 3 and turns on Primus 1. Garrett's face goes iron gray. If he gets eliminated here by Claire, the match becomes 2 against 2. If Victor then loses to Claire as well, Leon would be facing 2 phantom-type tamers alone. That cannot happen. His eyes fix on Claire. He's out of good options. Primus 2. Garrett's voice drops low and cold. Primus 2 understands without being told. It grips the spear and hurls it straight at Claire. The referee goes white as a sheet. The host's eyes go wide. He's lost his mind. Garrett has completely lost his mind. The gray bird spots the flying spear and breaks off from Primus 1 to intercept, but it's not fast enough. A sickening thud, and the spear drives straight into Claire's thigh. Garrett exhales slowly. A serious foul, yes, but at least he and Claire took each other out. As long as he keeps Leon's favor, this tournament's outcome means nothing to him. What do you think this tournament is? The referee rushes onto the floor, reaching into his pocket for a red card. If it weren't for professional restraint, he'd put a fist through Garrett's face himself. I don't know what you're talking about. Primals have limited cognition. Accidents happen. No. Claire speaks up through the pain. Don't give him the red card. If it was an accident, then the match should go on. The rage inside her is at its peak, but she refuses to end it like this. She hasn't finished with Garrett yet. Claire, if you don't treat that wound now, it could affect your recovery long term. No, I won't give up that easily. She shakes her head, but her vision is already blurring. Just as she's about to fall, she collapses into someone's arms. Miss Penny, Claire is in your hands. I scoop her up and lay her on a stretcher. Don't worry about me, Mark. This tournament is yours now. Don't lose. First Felix, now Claire. I'm the captain of this team. Letting this slide is not something I'm willing to do. Referee. He says it was an accident. Giving out a red card over an accident. I don't think that's quite fair. So please step aside. Let us finish this. Watching Garrett's smug posture, the referee decides to look the other way. Don't go too far. He pockets the red card. The atmosphere in the arena ignites completely. Every pair of eyes in the crowd is willing me to make Garrett pay. Have I become the villain? Garrett doesn't care. He's actually pleased as long as he can take Mark down with him here. Third high wins. So Garrett drops all pretense, sending Primus 1 and 2 charging straight at me. But the next second, two figures appear directly behind Primus 1 and 2, locking them in place. And two facehuggers crawl swiftly across their faces. They don't let the already scorched Primus 3 off the hook either. In barely 2 breaths, all 3 of Garrett's beasts are secured. Now it's your turn. What are you going to do? A cold dread rises in Garrett's chest. Forgot to mention, my beast isn't very obedient either. Sometimes it just ignores me. The words barely leave my mouth before the wolf alien raises its blade and brings it down hard on Garrett. Scream tears through the entire arena. Some in the crowd instinctively look away. A flash of cold light and the wolf alien's blade carves clean through Garrett's arm. Medic! Medic! The referee shouts and rushes to my side. That's enough, Mark. Severing Garrett's hand, First High might be able to smooth that over, but if someone actually dies here, that becomes a criminal matter. In truth, I never lost my head. Garrett's 3 beasts are now mine, and he's lost a hand. Even if this world's medicine can reattach it, his life going forward will never quite be the same. More importantly, performing like this in a public match, Third High will never back Garrett with resources again. Career as a tamer ends here. With that settled in my mind, I call the wolf alien back, and I recall the parasite-bonded primals into the domain as well. The winner of this match, Mark of First High. The referee seizes my arm and raises it high. The arena explodes. Wave after wave of thunderous applause rolls through the crowd. Of course, I receive a yellow card from the referee for my beast's uncontrollable actions. Meanwhile, in Third High's waiting room, Leon furrows his brow. Garrett was loyal. Sure, he took out Shane and Claire, but the way he did it was a disgrace. Even if the match had been won, it would have damaged Third High's reputation. But true embarrassment to our school. Victor, don't you dare follow his example. Victor feels the weight of that instantly. He glances at Miss Yvonne, their PE teacher, hoping she'll say something. Miss Yvonne sighs. Are we expelling Garrett? Probably for the best. Leon gives a small nod. Once the tournament is over, we'll hold a press conference and cut ties with him officially. Victor's heart sinks. From where he's standing, Garrett would never have pushed himself that far if not for Leon. And now in the end, he gets tossed aside just like that. Victor goes cold. He can't stay in this room a second longer. When he reaches the arena floor, the referee speaks in a low, flat voice. When you're ready, release your beasts and begin. Thanks to Garrett, the referee has 0 goodwill left for Third High. Victor doesn't say a word. He releases his beast with clean, quiet efficiency. That a troll? I look it up and down. No matter the angle, it looks exactly like the troll race out of a Western fantasy novel. That's right, phantom type. Same as yours. I call mine the Shadow Mage. My eyes light up immediately. My alien colony has nothing like a mage. I'm taking your Shadow Mage. 2 male aliens bolt forward without hesitation. I haven't figured out what the Shadow Mage can do yet. Sending the wolf alien in blind would be reckless. Watching both aliens charge at once, the Shadow Mage raises its staff with a sinister grin. A surge of energy erupts into chains and wraps around one of them. With a crash, one alien is bound tight. The other keeps charging, but the Shadow Mage summons a serpent wraith, which spits a volley of needles from its mouth in rapid bursts. My alien senses every needle coming and charges straight through anyway. Even Victor's expression shifts. Any tamer should be desperate to protect their beast, yet the needles are turning my alien into a pincushion. And I don't even blink. What he didn't expect next, the blood my alien sprays onto the Shadow Mage sends it into a screaming frenzy. I take my time enjoying the look on Victor's face before I explain. My beasts don't just have an exoskeleton harder than iron. Their blood is a powerful acid. Not just flesh and bone, it can eat through steel plating several meters thick, layer by layer. That's a horrifying ability, Victor mutters, looking pained. He orders the Shadow Mage to fall back and keep summoning serpent wraiths. In moments, 5 serpent wraiths form a circle, trapping the alien in the center. Needles pour down like a storm, and the alien is quickly reduced to pulp. Mark, give it up. Your beasts are a real problem, but they can't win against my Shadow Mage. Looks like you know nothing about me. I let a smile curl at the corner of my mouth. A facehugger bonded with a Shadow Mage, just imagining what it would become. The thought alone fills me with excitement. I release a wave of male aliens without hesitation. In barely 1 or 2 breaths, over 20 aliens flood onto the arena floor. Only now does Victor finally understand why I showed no reaction at all when my aliens were being torn apart. There were simply too many to care about losing a few.
And that's where we wrap up today's video. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next story. If you've enjoyed this one and want to see more, leave your comment down below. Also, don't forget to drop a like to support our channel and subscribe to stay up to date everything that comes out. See you next time. Bye-bye. And a big hug to everyone. I'm out.